What's happening, guys? Steve here, Cars with Steve, and today we are going to be figuring out how we can hook up an iPhone or an Android device to a Ford EcoSport. Now we're going to be using the Sync 3 system, going to be showing you how to set up Android Auto and Apple CarPlay inside of this thing. So before we get started, I want to thank you guys as always for giving such amazing support to this channel. If you enjoy the content, be sure to like the video and consider subscribing with the bell notifications on, because once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a free set of WeatherTech floor liners to one lucky sub. So guys, let's dive right into it and see exactly what we have to do in order to set up Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in the 2020 Ford EcoSport. So what we're going to do is actually start off on the Apple side of things. So how do you connect an iPhone to this vehicle? There's a couple different ways that we can do it. Now we are trying to get the Apple CarPlay to work. So Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, we do need to physically be connected with our wires. So we've got white for the Apple phones and then black for our Samsung devices. So very, very straightforward there. What we're going to do is let's just focus in on this little guy for a second. Perfect. Now very straightforward process. So what you're going to be doing is grabbing your iPhone. You're just going to grab the USB cable that we just set up and connect it to the vehicle. And all we're going to do is just insert the USB port. And as you can see, Apple CarPlay activation. So CarPlay lets you use your phone in certain ways. You can use certain things directly through this middle screen. So we're just going to hit continue. Privacy terms, do we accept? Yes or no? We're going to hit yes. 911 assist. Now this is one you absolutely want to make sure that you have set up on the vehicle. And the reason why is because if you're ever in an accident and your phone's connected, the vehicle will automatically dial 911 for you. So really, really useful feature. So let's make sure that's in there. And we're good to go. Now I just need to unlock my iPhone in order to start CarPlay, so enter in your combination, Face ID, or your fingerprint, whatever the case may be, in order to unlock. Now we're going to get a couple other things on this screen, so as you can see, so allow Apple CarPlay with Sync 3. We want to allow that, absolutely. And here we go. So Apple CarPlay is now installed. So it's really that simple in order to get this set up. As you can see, we've got my phone, my messages. We can jump back to the Ford Sync screen as well if we'd prefer to use that. Jump back into CarPlay from there. So there are certain apps that will work directly through this middle screen. LiveX Live, the Waze app is one of them. Now, having said that, you do need to make sure that you are running the latest version of the Apple operating system in order for Waze to be able to show up. So unfortunately, in this phone, this iPhone that I've got, it does have an older version of iOS, so I can't show you the Waze app on this. However, knowing it is there, we do have the option to use Apple Maps, I should say, as well. So really, really nice. If we had podcasts saved, we could listen to them from there. So this is really, really nice feature, especially if you don't have built-in navigation in your vehicle. Or maybe you do, and you just prefer to use Apple Maps or Google Maps or Waze or whatever the case may be. You've got the capability to do that. We've got the ability to look at podcasts that are currently installed inside of the phone as well, so we do have a number of options there. And back to our home screen. So really, really that simple in order to be able to hook up Apple CarPlay. And then in order to turn it off, all we can do is literally just unplug, and we've completely turned it off from there. So really, really that simple. Now the process for Android Auto is the exact same thing that we just saw for the iPhone. So what we're going to be doing is taking our Android device, and we're just going to input that USB. And it's going to take a second there. So Android Auto, it extends the Android platform into the vehicle as well. So voice, USB, etc. So a number of things that are available. And from there, as you can see, we do have welcome to Android Auto. So we want to make sure that we unlock to continue. So let's unlock. What will Android Auto do? So turn on Bluetooth pair, allow your car to access certain apps. So we're going to continue that. And just a sec, so let's continue. And do we agree? Same idea, so we're just going to agree to that as well. Okay, and so to start, select Android Auto on your screen. And so there we go. So we've got basic data. There we go. Perfect. And we are now in. So it's connected successfully. It's going to automatically download my contacts. Yes, we want that to happen. Do we want them to access messages? Yes, let's make sure that can happen as well. And as you can see, we are now fully connected. So we can jump back into our home screen there. So we've got Google Maps, we've got podcasts, phone, email, and a number of other things. And here we go. As you can see, we now have the Waze app, which can be played directly through this middle screen. So as I mentioned, it is good for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Apple CarPlay, you just have to make sure that you're updated to the latest version of iOS for it to work. But as you can see there, you've got a nice view instead of using Google Maps or the built-in functionality there. So you're always going to have maps that are up to date, which which is one of the reasons why people prefer to use either Apple Maps or Google Maps. So we've got the capability to go either route. And then very similar to the Apple side of things, so if we want to jump back to the regular Ford home screen instead, we would just hit Ford Exit, and then that brings us back to this middle screen. So we've got the ability to go based off of our car audio, click back on the phone, or jump back into Android Auto again. And that's really it. It's really that simple to set up Android Auto and Apple CarPlay inside of these things. All we have to do is make sure that we're physically connected by USB as of Sync 3. Well guys, that's exactly how you do it. How to set up Android Auto, how to set up Apple CarPlay inside of the 2020 Ford EcoSport. Really, really straightforward and a very simple process. If you have any questions, anything that I may have missed, make sure you drop it down below. But until I see you guys next time, make sure you stay safe.